working on motorcycles can sometimes be a bit frustrating. I have no idea what to do now. Couple things to do on the Dyna today. I was putting off getting it done, but I got another piece in the mail, so I might as well just do this now. Don't worry, we're still getting the bolt ready for the ride that's coming up on November 28th. We're already in the month of November, so the ride is coming up very quickly. On the 28th, we'll be riding out from St. Cloud to Melbourne. We're going to Billy's. I'm currently contacting them to see if they can take 30 to 40 people. There's gonna be prizes from Bolt Heads, Motorcycle Dress Up, Vital Ventures, and probably a couple other companies if the timing works out. Either way, let's move on to what we're doing to the Bolt Dyna. I can't stop talking about the Bolt. All right, so the battery box does not have a cover on it, and the reason I got black is because the Dyna FXDX originally has a blacked out battery box, but this one did not. So eventually I will be buying a new battery box, but I thought it would be stupid to not try to paint this and see if I can get it to match. The next thing I want to work on is this tab back here. This is not gonna cut it. I wanna put a rubber gasket underneath there so we don't further damage the tin paint. And I wanna get it underneath here and try to tighten it up. I don't know exactly how we're gonna do it, but I wanna try my best. So battery box, the bolt on the back here because we're gonna have to do that to get to the battery box anyways. The next thing is going to be our throttle cable. So we have this throttle cable, which is the pole, I believe, but we don't have the push throttle cable, which creates all this slop in the throttle, which I gotta get rid of that. It makes the bike feel like crap, and it's not a crappy bike. So the only other thing I can think of right now is this right here. Choke cable doesn't sit in its, you can see it right now, doesn't sit where it's supposed to. It's supposed to stay right there. What the heck is this? All right. The guy who owned this Dyna before me didn't do things how I would have. All right, cool. Oh man, that's a little bit rough. That's frustrating. All right, so it looks like to get to this, man, I don't know what we're gonna do. There's a piece of cardboard in this dude. Ridiculous. Oh, this is nice. Like 20 bucks. Not bad. Oh yeah, I'm real unsure on how this works. Does this come off first? Maybe this just pops underneath here. That can't be that simple, right? Can it? I guess it's possible that's it. I guess that's it. I don't know. It doesn't seem right to me, but then again, I've never owned a Harley before. Looks a whole lot better than having a piece of cardboard there. The seat is supposed to have a rubber gasket, I believe. And this guy didn't have one. And so it ate up the back fender. So what I did was I just cut a piece of rubber out of a grip that I had, put it on there, which is probably not the best fix to it, but it's a fix. And then I'm gonna slip this bolt back through here. And nice. Well, we'll see if this works. I mean, it might.
Are you just trying to have the seat off the fender?
Yeah, it's wrecking the fender right now. And that's not something.
Like scratching the paint?
Yeah, and that's something you really don't want to do. These are nice tins. Okay, well that was fast. So we got the seat all secure, and this is the rubber piece that I put on there. It's not the prettiest, if this will focus. There we go, it's not the prettiest. It was smaller than the tab before I smushed it down, but at least it's not rubbing like that little scratch right there. But we got the battery covered up, seats secure. The wind's got me crying. Okay, so everything seems to be working really well. The seat does not rattle anymore, which I'm very happy about. That's awesome. And the battery cover didn't fall off. So, let's see if it's smoothed at all. Seems good. I'm going to bed. I'll see you guys in like 2 seconds. Goodbye. Alrighty, guys. Disgusting.
Alright, I'm over it.
Alrighty, guys. Wow, I'm blown out right now. So it's the next day. Before we get to working on the rest of the Dyna, I think it's really appropriate that we wash it because I have never washed this bike, and my other bike, the Bolt, is very dirty as well. So this one has been leaking oil and primary fluid, so I'm definitely going to have to clean up a lot of stuff. But yeah, before I start working on the bike and get underneath the tank and all that stuff, I just thought it'd probably be a good idea to wash this thing. So let's wash it. Super oily spots. Really zoomed in. All right. Okay, guys, so we washed off the bike. It's pretty clean, but I ran into a problem. I was cleaning out the air filter. I took off the cover for it. This guy right here. And the guy who owned this previous to me, stripped out this screw. I can't get it out. It's completely stripped out. There we go. It is a perfect circle inside there. Perfect circle. So we got to drill this out, which sucks. I went to Harbor Freight, about the tools, and we got it out. These things are really helpful. And they were like 12 bucks. Drill master. Either way, we got it out. I'm gonna take the rest of this off, clean this air filter, and then we'll be done cleaning the bike for right now. I also got a degreaser. Right there. Right there. So I popped the air filter off. This is supposed to be red. This is a clear indication that maintenance was not a priority for this man. So who knows what else is like gonna be messed up. I'm seeing some lines without hose clamps on them and stuff like that. So it's gonna be a lot of work, but regardless, the bike is still well worth what I paid for it, and it's gonna be worth more than, you understand. You understand. What I'm trying to say is, as you can see, it's pretty nasty in here, so I'm gonna try to clean this up a little bit, but I'm gonna clean this with carb cleaner, or air intake cleaner, I mean. A lot of crap came out of this. This thing you couldn't even see light through, and now you can definitely, can you see light through that?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, much better than it was before. So let's pop this back on the bike. So since we clearly cannot use this screw anymore, I always keep all the screws and bolts that I have in the off chance that we have this exact problem. Okay guys, so the only bolt I could find that is mine is, I don't really care about the bit that it takes to put it in, but it's just slightly different lengths. So I'm probably going to end up either going to buy this exact screw or cutting this one to size and then, you know, cleaning up the threads and everything. So we'll figure that out in a second, but I want to get the air intake back on here so it's not just sitting on the floor. I don't know a lot about Harleys, clearly. But what I do know is that if you don't put Loctite on stuff, you're gonna lose it. Also, probably don't sit your stuff on a hairy, hairy ground.
Ew.
There's literally dog hair everywhere. Now I don't know what foot pounds is supposed to be torqued down to, so I'm just gonna tighten it until it feels comfortable because I'm not about to do what they did to me. Feels good. That's gonna stay like that until we get this other bolt figured out, but that'll be in a second. So stay tuned. It is a brand new day, new set of challenges. Got some sleep last night. Keen, what are you doing? Man thinks he's leaving. Thinks he runs a place. We're on like day 3 of this project. I feel like we've just done so many little things that the week's just gotten away from me. Either way, enough venting about my week. So I'm at kind of an impasse right now. I have 2 or 3 things that I could do, and I don't really know which one to do. I know which ones I don't want to do, and the one I don't want to do is take this entire tank off to run the throttle cable from the carburetor all the way up to the, you know, the grip. So something that's been bothering me about this bike, and that is an actual issue, is the choke cable right here doesn't like to stay seated. So it's supposed to seat up here, and I think there's a bolt that's missing or a nut or something that is supposed to hold it in. So we're gonna have to like fashion something to make this stay because that can't keep falling off. I need to tighten these down. Oh my gosh, dude, look at the play in that. That's not good. That's why it's leaking oil. Okay, so I think I've thought of something that'll fix this whole problem. I need to run to Home Depot or Lowe's, whatever one's closer, but I need to run to Home Depot and Lowe's. I need to get the bolt for the air intake, and then I need to get the idea that I have. When I come back, I'll show you what I'm thinking, but I think it's pretty good, pretty innovative. Hopefully in this video we can wrap up a little bit more, but as far as this stuff goes, it's kind of some odds and ends, so I appreciate you guys sticking around. Give me 1 sec. Well, for you it's literally 1 second, but I'm gonna run to Home Depot. Goodbye. I know that everybody watching this channel has at some point or another, gosh, I'm always zoomed in, gone to Home Depot and had to look, or Lowe's, and had to look for hours to find what you needed. And I didn't look for hours, but I sure looked for a long time. So here's what we got. I bought 2 of these just in case I had the wrong size because I couldn't take the bolt off. And then, because it's Home Depot and Lowe's, they didn't have what I was looking for. These are an Allen keys, and they're a little bit too long. These are the right length, but they're like a weird top. They're like the tapered in top, and they're like, whatever. So let's see if this works. Now that I've got this here, let's actually bring it over here and Take a look if it's gonna work. That looks to be the right size. Oh, I hope that's not too big. Here's the plan. Here's the choke. You got that little piece that comes off, and then you got your bolt thingy with the threads and the other nut. Kind of rough, but here, let's zoom in. And then I've got my other nut. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to saw one side, not a full side, just wide enough to slip over this right here. As many of you already know, working on motorcycles can sometimes be a bit frustrating. Things that you thought were gonna work out, ideas that you have, plans that you make, they don't work out. I just busted open my finger, not bad, nothing big, but I think I've hit a point where it's now dark out. Been working on this for about an hour now, maybe an hour and a half, and it's just not working out. Every nut I bought for the choke does not fit. So it is not standard, it is not metric, I don't know what it is. So it's not this one. It's not this one, not even this one. So I have no idea what to do now. So what I tried doing is putting a zip tie, slipping it through there, and then trying to, you know, zip it down or whatever. But when I pulled it, it ripped, and now we're here. So I'm at a frustrating spot right now. I don't really know what to do. I've taken off the horn of the bike, and the choke is out of its mount, and I'm just, there's more wrong with the bike than there was to begin with. So I'm gonna try this for a few more minutes, and then I may move on because I'm getting frustrated. So it may be dangling for the rest of its life. Since this is going so poorly, we're gonna take a break and go over to the air intake and pop one of these guys out. So I wanna try this one because it would surely look better. Not that anybody's gonna see this, but it would really bother me. I mounted it sideways. Well, this is technically sideways. I know that this emblem is supposed to be up here, but I really liked how it looked on the bottom, and I don't even know this brand or care about this brand, so for me, I think it looks better on the bottom, but I don't really care. So that's Loctited up. Let's go over to the other side and try to figure out what we're gonna do there. I'm getting kind of frustrated, but it is what it is. If this is your first time visiting this channel, I promise we're a little bit more productive than this normally. But if you guys have stayed around for this long, I really do appreciate you guys. This was just a failure of a project. I put a zip tie around here that's zip tied to one on this side, one on the other side, another zip tie. So it's zip tie there, zip tie on the back side. It really is strong. I should have done that in the first place. I just didn't want to use zip ties because I thought it was a little bit cheesy. Also, last thing, I've been meaning to do this since I got the bike. Well, I think this could have turned out a little bit better, but we have Gooby Gone or Goo Gone or whatever that's called. We have that, so I think we'll get it figured out. We're gonna be working on the Yamaha Bolt next time. I'm gonna be doing stuff that I really don't wanna do, which anybody who's been subscribed for a little while knows exactly what that is. Remember that there's a ride coming up on November 28th. We're going from St. Cloud, Florida to Melbourne. If you guys need that information, I'll leave it as the last screen on the video, and then you can pick up all the information. Make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss any videos. Follow us on Instagram at Tardy Productions, and thanks to all our sponsors for the ride. See you guys next week. You gotta be a real special type of stupid to break something like this. But from the looks of it, the person who owned this was a special type of stupid.